Fear of the dark. Fear of the dark. I have a phobia that something's always near. Hi. I'm Bruce Dickinson. And I'm going to take you on a journey to the dark side. Believe it or not. The English county of Essex, where the cunning Earl of Essex wooed the Queen Elizabeth until he lost his nerve and his head. But now, something strange is happening down on the farm. The light begins to change. I sometimes feel a little strange, a little anxious when it's dark. Robbers, cutthroats and vagabonds met at inns like this to plan their skullduggery. They spoke in a strange, rhyming tongue. In rhyming slang, brown bread meant dead. Tom Tit went, that's another story, believe that one or not. Let's go inside, into this little hostelry. Because you see, this is no ordinary pub. You see, this is the pub that Steve built, and maybe 1,500 years ago when Roman soldiers lived on this very spot, they would quaff ale and listen to the minstrels in the barn next door, even as
I actually build a control room, and so we do it, properly a mix here as well. So we, because a lot of albums we've done in the past, we've actually recorded somewhere and then gone somewhere else to mix. And it's a bit of an upheaval when you spend like ages setting up the sounds again and everything for the mix. So we just thought we'd be really good to do it here, and this is where we rehearse and everything anyway. Really good sound here, so just decided to go the old and put the recording, actual room in.
The last record we did, No Prayer for the Dying, was done in this same barn, except at that time it was still a barn, and we used a mobile recording studio to record it. It was a lot of fun. It was done very quickly, and I think we might have got carried away with the enthusiasm. I think there's tons of energy on the record, but some of the sonic quality is a bit agricultural, shall we say, every now and again. It doesn't mean that I think we regret doing it, because I think it was the right thing to do at the time, and we went out and did a tour where it was just sort of like t-shirt and jeans and, no huge stage sets, and we just stripped everything down and said, let's get back to bare bones. This one, we're trying to put some bit more muscle on those bones, and to that end, we've built a complete recording studio with digital and Neve desks and all the best gear on the planet, and we've spent a lot longer getting sounds that we think match up to the power of the songs and the power of the riffs, things like that. I think that's one reason perhaps why sometimes some people have been a bit loath to play us on the radio every now and again, is that perhaps certain ones of the tunes don't sound as good on the radio as they could do, which is not saying that we're trying to make radio type music, not with an album title like Fear of the Dark and songs like Be Quick or Be Dead, which is the first single. It's not quite a speed metal or a thrash metal track, but it's a pretty up tempo sort of song, and it hasn't got any. There's not a lush harmony in sight, and it's fairly. The lyrics are fairly explicit about fat capitalist bastards, who are ripping everybody off, like the Robert Maxwells and all those sorts of people. It's Be Quick or Be Dead, which is, it's actually not a reference to him dying, but it's more a reference to the state that what a rotten sort of thing it must be to be 16 or 17 right now, and to look at a world which seems to be stuck in permanent depression and recession and all the rest of it, with all the uncertainties that's going on. And there just seems to be a lot of fat men with big cigars getting away with criminal acts and getting shoved in jail for 6 months and having their wrists slapped, you know. And I think a lot of kids must be thinking, you know, well, you know, there has to be a way out of this. And the song is sort of saying, well, the way out of it is that you've got to sort of think quick on your feet and be smarter than these people if you're going to swim in the same river. And if you want to get your own ideas and your own ideals and your own things across, you've got to be able to beat them at their own game, and just be better at it than they are in order to do good stuff at the end of the day. So that's what the song's about.
Yeah, it's really terrible. Look, listen, Mum, I've got to phone you back in a minute, Mum. I'll tell you all about it. Hold on, I've got some people to deal with here. Hold on. Hey, what are you lot doing now? I'm on the phone, you see. Look, come on, you know, get a bit of peace. Good to see you anyway. Now you can push off, all right? See ya. It's a very strong album, and the songs are really, really strong. Really excited about them. And I think it's the best sound we've ever had, which is great, obviously, for me being, you know, in the new studio and all that stuff. I think it's the biggest sounding album we've had, you know, the actual drum sounds are really big and everything. And I just can't wait to play it to people, really.
For me, this is the best album that I've ever been involved in. Purely, it's a mature album, song-wise, and I think the playing on it it's phenomenal from everybody. It's been great.
We're making it more expansive, really. The sound, the overall sound, more expansive. Bigger drum sounds, bigger. We're taking, although we've taken time over all the other albums, obviously, we're taking a little bit more time with the whole production over this thing. So we wanted to advance it a bit more, you know, to do some different things, different sounds.
Well, we actually designed the studio pretty much as we were going along. We knew roughly what we wanted to do, but with such an old building, to start you've got to be very careful because in case the thing falls down if you start building onto it or whatever. But so we actually built the thing sort of internally under its own support and everything. So we didn't actually touch anything structurally to the outer building. But we were doing things as we went along, really, and just testing things out. You know, soundproofing wise, we actually just sort of did bits and then added bits onto it, and so it took a long time to do, but it's been worth it, well worth it.
It's excellent, Phil. It's a really relaxed, laid-back atmosphere. Plus, we've got our own pub and our own telephone. So actually, it was vandalised this morning, so we had to throw this in. It's a great feeling. As I said, relaxation is part and parcel to being able to make, I think, a really good album. I mean, you've got to have your downtime, and when you've got such a good atmosphere around it, it really helps.
A lot of the tracks actually will lend themselves really good in, you know, live performance because they're really a lot of them real up tempo, straight ahead sort of stuff, you know, where you can really let go on them, and I think they're going to come across really powerful.
Yeah, a lot of the songs really, you know, I mean, most of the songs we write tend to be written for live pretty much anyway. There's one song on it, a really different song, Wasted Love, which Yannick and Bruce wrote, which, although it's a ballady type of thing, which we haven't really done before, I think, you know, I can really imagine it playing it live. It's, you know, I mean, most of the stuff, actually. I don't think there's hardly any songs on there I would think we wouldn't really be able to do live, or wouldn't work as a live song. Tongue-in-cheek, really. It's about, I mean, it's about sort of bike stuff and all that. But it's a continuing saga of Charlotte the Harlot, and we had, like, the first two parts on earlier albums, so it's like part 3, really.
Anyone you've met or know?
Well, I can't really say. I'm married there, aren't I? You know what I mean? So it's a bit difficult to say. Drop myself in it. Probably just have, actually. Heard about the dark. So it's just basically, you know, if you carry in one night and, you know, all the lights are out and you're feeling around for the switch and can't find it, and just feeling a bit sort of strange, imagining maybe something's in the corner of the room or something looking at you or whatever. I'm sure people have had that sort of feeling, whether they've been drunk or not or whatever. And yeah, it's just all about that sort of eerie sort of stuff, really. Just, you know, being scared to sort of walk on your own in the dark room.
Steve writes a lot of songs about phobias, things like that, and I think I don't know whether it's from personal experience, because he wrote that particular tune. He wrote the words to that song. So he wrote it from the point of view of a guy who's wandering through the park, and the lights start to go down, and he starts feeling a little odd, touch of the Jekyll and Hydes. And whether or not it's from personal experience, again, I don't know. I can't say. Having never been a flasher in a park, or walking sex crime, or axe murderer waiting to happen, there's more than a hint that it might be that this chap wandering through the park, something strange happens to him when it's dark. The inspiration behind the album, well, it's a set of songs that we want to go out and try and change the world with. No. It's a bunch of rock and roll tunes that represent Iron Maiden, and we've always been a bit of a maverick band in that we've got this definitive sort of style that we play in, and we haven't really got into some of the more fashionable areas of music, like rap music and stuff like that, and everybody's been bending over backwards to sort of go, oh, look, we're really modern and we're this and that. No, we're unashamedly,